My name is Arin Lindauer, and you're listening to A Life Without Struggle. I'm a wife, a mother of 2 wonderful children, a 2-time best-selling author, and a highly driven and successful entrepreneur. In my 17-plus year career as a mindset and health expert, I know what holds women back from a life you only dream about. Whether you're a CEO, a businesswoman, or executive, I started this podcast because I have been where you are, and I know you want and deserve more out of your life. I believe women are limitless. We just get lost along the way. The process to get you there is the topic and purpose of this podcast. When you understand what you want, you can truly step into a life without struggle. Welcome, and I'm so thankful you're here. All right, welcome back to another episode of Life Without Struggle. My name is Arin Lindauer, and excited to bring yet again another awesome podcast. And I just want to tell you guys thanks. Thanks for tuning in. I know so many of you are just regulars. You listen to this on a regular basis, and you give me such good feedback. And so just thank you. I just wanted to come on here first and say that. And listen, I'm forever grateful when you guys share this podcast and share it with someone that you feel like can benefit. So, all right. Today we're going to dig into a really good topic, very timely for this time of the year. If, again, you're listening to this in chronological order, today we're going to dig into planning your best year ever. And I was reminded about this, and listen, it's been a lot of my topics and conversations with clients just here recently, and then it's been a lot of my content in the private Facebook group that I run. If you haven't joined the Infinite Women Weight Loss and Confidence for Professional Women Facebook group, it's absolutely free. I load it up with a ton of really good content. You've got Mindset Mondays, you've got recipes, there's amazing testimonials. And listen, I gotta just side note this super quick, and I promise I'll get to my topic here today, but I have done some of the most amazing interviews here this month. Honestly, every woman I interview is just amazing. I'm so honored that they would come on, share their story. And I'm just so inspired by the work that they've put in, the goal that they set, and then they did the actions that aligned to produce the result. And I have to share this today because literally this was just today. I was on a coaching call with one of my clients that I just interviewed the day before. And I was just so giddy because she hit her goal. She hit her goal. And guess what our conversation was about today? It was literally about the new goal that she gets to set for herself. See, so many times we don't even think we can hit that first goal. And then we do, and that's truly everything. And as a coach, I just can't tell you how much that just lights you up. It fires you up, especially on those days that you do get tested. Listen, not every client is 100% compliant. Not every client gets amazing results. I mean, it's part of it. This is humans we're working with. And so it is so awesome watching women win. And I'm happy to report that majority of my clients just really get after it. I mean, it's just kind of a standard that I set, but there is going to be a subset that maybe don't, okay? And that's life. I have to suck it up and take that in as a coach, and that's challenging for me. But what was so fun today was we set new goals that aren't around weight loss. New goals that are just so inspiring, so motivating, so obtainable. And so anyways, I just had to share that because that for me as a coach is just everything. And then obviously I know as a byproduct, that woman's life has changed forever. Her family's life has changed forever. And it's a ripple effect because she knows other women. She has other people in her sphere of influence that I know they may not say something to her, but she is inspiring them. And so it's just so fun when you nail goal 1 and you get to set an even cooler goal. So, all right, let's dig into how to plan your best year ever. And this really came from a lot of work that I'm doing behind the scenes on my business. So every year, around this time, Tony and I do a lot of reflecting. We look back through calendars. We look back through social media. We talk about what strategies worked really well for business. What do we want to test out in the new year? What do we want to repeat? And we're always planning ahead. So we take everything, we review it, and then we truly look into, okay, what did we learn from that? How can we grow from that? Should we reproduce those results? And honestly, it just is a wash, rinse, repeat. I mean, in running a business for 16 years now, it's just wild. Some of the boring work that absolutely drives the success of our business. And just the success of making it through not only a pandemic in a service-based industry, we just watched so many people fold their businesses, watching ourselves pivot and pivot really interestingly, working with so many online now. And it's just been a really, really neat time. And I will tell you, looking back on 2023 for us, we both would probably say this has probably been one of our most challenging years. I mean, just a lot of things have changed. A lot of things have shifted in ourselves. But I'll tell you what, we're handling this with probably more grace and ease than I've ever navigated anything this stressful. And you know, part of that is experience, right? That's you've experienced different things in your life. We have a significant amount of training that we have done to help ourselves navigate things better. And I also know that we're really clear on what it is that we want. And so as I was filling out some of my numbers and just tracking, honestly, when it comes to a business, the numbers truly are everything in our business. You know, how many leads, what's our show rate? How many sales did we close? What was the average ticket? You know, just like where did all the leads come from? And then you list out all the million sources that you have going and the referrals. And I mean, there's so many numbers that you can track and you should track in a business. And it's no different than with our bodies. You know, when we have data, and for some of us, that's the number on the scale. It could be circumference measurements, although that's not always my favorite, just because it's very hard to perfectly measure that every time. But within reason, you can get pretty close. But there's so many numbers. You can count macros. You can count, you know, obviously within that is protein, which is just like an isolated macro that I personally like to have clients track. And there's so many different numbers that we can really get focused on that truly give us the data, which then gives us the feedback on what's working. So number one, it's really important to understand your numbers. And I'm going to come back to this full circle in how we plan to have our best year ever. So as I was working through my numbers, and sorry, I'm going to parallel this whole conversation with business because it's just so applicable. But when I think about comparing all of my numbers and then setting new targets, understanding some variances and things, it's really helping me understand what works, what doesn't work. And it's also going to allow me to pivot, you know, throughout the year. Should something just, you know, let's just say like all of a sudden Facebook ads just dry up, right? Which, you know, they probably won't, or it's just changing ad copy, creative, whatever, right? There's a million things that you can tweak on that. More ad spend typically helps. So there's a lot of nuances to that. But it's having all these targets. And I wrote down a pretty scary number for what I want our business to do. And actually, I should preface it this way. It's actually really not scary. It's something that's going to stretch me. It's going to grow me. It's going to require me to hire more people. So, you know, and lead more team. So there's a lot of pieces to it. And I'm actually just really excited. I'm really excited because I enjoy pouring into people. I enjoy building things. I enjoy seeing results. And I know that the bigger the goals I set, the more women and now men, now that my husband is launched, the more people that we get to impact. And when we get to impact more people have way better health, which means they're going to perform better at their careers. They're going to make more money for their families. Their families are going to benefit because they're not tired and grumpy and full of illness. And it's just going to make this world a better place. And I truly take that sincerely, because when I'm creating those goals, when I'm looking at those numbers, it's not just about that number. When that number gets hit, that is how many lives get changed. And I take this so seriously. So then when we get this detailed in what it is that we want, and we understand why we want it. See, my mission has never been more clear. It has never been more clear. As I have watched my mother and just watched her health here just in even the last 6 years, and in particular here this last month has probably been one of the most challenging months. And what I'm grateful for is that she is now pain-free, but how she had to get there, I'm just, that for me as a coach and someone who understands the body has been extremely challenging. And for me, it's been something that I've had to just really come to grips with, that she is okay and that she is happier now because she actually is pain-free. It's just how we had to get there is very challenging for me. And so anyways, this mission has never been more real for me, because I know that I can save a woman from ever having to go down that path. See, what I truly think is there was just a lack of education and understanding how to care for herself when she was 40, when she was 50, when she was 60. And so that, for me, is really everything. So when you think about your goals, so you have to get super detailed. What do I want? And then I will always tell you to go even deeper. Why do you want what you want? And it's okay. It's okay to say, I want to look good naked. It's okay to say, I want to have better relationship with my partner, my spouse, my husband. Like, it's just so important to understand why these numbers. Of course, we all want better health. Of course, we all want to age well. There's also a presentation of yourself, and it's also how you feel about yourself on a daily basis. So in planning your best year ever, we've got to understand your data points. We've got to understand, where do we want to go? And the reason I'm spending so much time on this is so many people don't know where they want to go. So many people don't believe that they can hit goal 1. So many people have tried to lose weight and have failed. What I know to be true is, for most people, they don't just draw a line in the sand and they say, hey, I'm going to have to show up a little bit differently. So many of us get so stuck in our ways, so stuck in our, but we always have pizza, we always have pasta, we always have a dessert, right? Or we always have these beverages. Or, Arin, come on now, it's football, it's this, it's that. Like, listen, you can come up with 50 things, and that's cool, because if you desire those things over your health, over your weight loss, over your goals, that's what you're focused on. And that's what I have to call that out black and white, is when you are focused, when you would rather do X versus taking care of yourself, that is actually the priority. If you would rather have alcohol over, taking care of your body, that is the priority. So that might be kind of a wake-up call for others. So think about that when you're craving sweets, when you're thinking about this food, that food, and you give into that, that is your priority. And I'm saying that in love and respect. I've had to say that to myself 100 times. But I will tell you, when you flip the coin, it is so much easier. Flip the coin, can have things in moderation, okay? Sometimes you have to pull back to push forward and push through things. Sometimes you got to say no. It's all good. I say no to a lot of things. I'm still good most days. But in reality, we got to start with the true tried reason of what it is that we want. Why is that so dang important to you? Do you desire this goal like it is the Holy Grail? And for some of you may say, girl, I don't. And that's okay too. But I would challenge you that that's where you need to double down. To double down and truly understand what it is that you want. For some of us, we've just been, wishy-washy and, oh, I just want to be healthy. And it's like, okay, cool. But what else? What else do you want, right? So think about this. Think about this goal, what it is that you desire. And then what we're going to do from there is we're going to start reverse engineering. What is it going to take? See, in my business, what I've done is I've created a roadmap for every single week for 52 weeks of the year. And it's brutal. Okay, I'm just going to be honest. When I do this work, it is very brutal to me. I get very frustrated. I get very challenged with this, but it's worth every second that I plan, because then it's just a matter of execution. And so I encourage this with your goal for your health, for your wellness, is step back and look at the year and understand what seasons of life you're in. You're always stressed out, frustrated, tired. If you're always worried about what's going on, that truly is where you're putting your focus. You're more focused on the stress in your life. You're more focused on the things that don't desire. So what I want you to do is get really clear on why it is that I'm always stressed out. See, this is something that I watch clients just like fumble through all the time, because it's like, well, I'm just always stressed. This is always going on. That's going on. This is going sideways. And here's the thing. What I want you to do is I want you to understand what's controlling you, or letting your emotions take over. So what we want to think about is, what is it that we want? What's going on in our world? What can we control? Control the controllables. And so what we're going to think about is, week by week by week, how do you need to plan your life so that you can win? So that you can see your ultimate results that you desire. See, it takes getting that granular. It takes really mapping this out. I mean, you could even map out week by week by week what that scale would say if you desire. Now, be careful with that too, because that does, some weeks are just going to be a week. I've seen clients hold, I've seen myself hold for multiple weeks at a time, and it can be just, the rhyme and reason doesn't even make sense. But reasonably speaking, if we're showing up every single day and we're focused on the things that we want, everything will come together. And just the second when you feel like, man, I cannot hit these results, that is when you double down, keep your head in the game, and pretty soon that scale will move again. So I encourage you to get as deep into your planning and understanding what it is that you want, so that then you can get super specific in, okay, this is how many grams of protein I'm going to need. This is the number on the scale that I'm going to look for. When I'm resistance training, what numbers do I need to be hitting in the gym? So there's a multitude of data points that can truly help us. So plan your best year ever. What that requires is you taking the time, taking the effort to truly dig into, what the heck do I really want? Why do I actually want it? Doing the review from this year. Okay, where did I see myself in the downfall? Where did I see myself just finally say enough? For so many of us, we have some sort of point in our life where we see a photo of ourselves, or we have, we try to put something on in a dressing room, or we can't put anything on in our closet and we refuse to buy the next size. I mean, those are very, very common things that I hear. So I encourage you, if you've been listening to this podcast over and over and over again, and you haven't invested in having a coach, I would be honored. I would be honored to walk side by side with you and help you get your head in the game. That's truly what a coach needs to do. Yes, we need to give you some nuances of, hey, Here's the rhyme and reason of why we're going to do what we're going to do. Basically keep you between those yellow lines. But then I want to show you how you can navigate life. And I want you to reach out to me. Listening to this now for a while, haven't taken that plunge, and you want 2024 to be totally different, you got to have a coach. See, even myself, I always have a coach. I always have a coach, someone that I'm talking to multiple times a month, checking in. Hey, how you doing? I'm sending different ideas and thoughts, and use that coach. That's one thing too that I have to put that out there. Use coach. Use the coach to help you see the ultimate results. It does no good to just purchase a program, kind of sort of do it, maybe send some stuff, maybe get the steps in, maybe eat a little bit better when you feel like it. I'm putting it out there, guys. Do it. Invest in yourself and get after this. I promise you, the women that work with me, that you've listened to their testimonials, they get after it. They get after this goal. They nail the weight loss goal. And I'll tell you what, the conversation after that is so much better. Doesn't mean that we didn't have challenging conversations. And when I say challenging, like, it's not challenging for me, it's challenging for her. But I'm helping her navigate through those challenges that are going on in your world. All of us experience them. Listen, just the other night, I was having a really tough time. We had received some really just not what I wanted to hear news about, my mother's health but I had to really come to grips with it and like, hey, this is where we're at now. And she's going to be okay. This is good for her. So that's when I had to really dig deep, because honestly, I just wanted to fall into a puddle of tears. But I just remember telling myself like, hey, this is okay. And this is going to be okay. And you got to remember that now this person is pain-free, and that is the win for her personally. So we have to understand the expectations. We have to understand that those emotions are our emotions. I was feeling sad for myself because I had envisioned a different picture of what life would be like at this stage. And see, that for me was very, very selfish. And I had to remember that for this person, that's an individual person. And what she wants is different than what I want. And that is okay. That is okay. See, it takes a lot of digging into those emotions and asking yourself, why do you feel sad? What is the purpose of being sad? Okay, what is the purpose of feeling stressed? Because I definitely felt stressed in that moment. And once I was finally able to really navigate it myself, understand the learnings from it, I truly was at peace. I was definitely at peace. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't get a little sad here and there, but, and certainly, absolutely just love her, right? But that's where I had to truly move myself, is to just loving her. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm here to tell you, having myself as a coach, I can help you navigate those things. Yes, we're going to talk food. Yes, we're going to talk movement, workouts, but it's really about navigating life and how to handle these situations, because this stuff comes up in all of our lives. So my challenge to you is to start planning for 2024. What is it that you desire in your life? Now, listen, you can take this too, as you guys have always heard me say, think about this for your career. Think about this for your business. Think about this for your financials. What is it that you want? Put a scary number out there and then reverse engineer how to go get it. There's so much abundance in this world that most of us never even tap into it. So get really clear on what it is that you want, why you want what you want. Be so compelled that like, this is done. This is already done. See yourself. And then reverse engineer what it's going to take. What do I got to do day by day by day? What is week by week by week to look like? And then the most important part is you got to execute the plan. All these beautiful plans don't mean crap if you don't do them. okay? Just like if I had a marketing calendar for my business and I didn't execute it, nothing's going to happen, okay? I had to learn to fall in love with marketing. I absolutely hated marketing when I first started, and it's definitely been a grown, acquired taste, if you will. But what I understand is if you don't let people know what you do, no one's going to ever raise their hand and say, hey. And in my eyes, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's such a travesty, because this is why I've been put on this earth. I've been put on this earth to help women be better, take care of themselves, go for more, create more, do more, serve more. And I know when you have your health that you will go for more in your life. It's okay to want to have a flat stomach, toned thighs, the nice toned arms, no flab hanging. I swear, if one more woman, no, I'm just kidding. Like it's the constant, every woman tells me about their triceps, and I love it because it's just, I know it's coming too. But that's just something that, hey, you gotta lose the body fat and tone up the muscles. And guess what? You'll have really rocking arms. All right. Well, let's get planning. Think about what it is that you desire for your life and what you want. And let's get after it. Get after it. And listen, if you've been struggling and not hitting those goals, reach out. All you got to do is reach out and just engage in this process. See, the most important thing you can do is invest in your health. When you invest in your health, it will change everything in your life. Your career will get better. Your relationship with your husband will get better. Your sex will get better. Listen, I'm just going to put it out there. When you feel good about you, everything feels so good in your life. Handle challenges way differently. So get after it. Finish this year strong. And let's make 2024 the best year yet. Go get 'em.